How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all cranked up, but get into some creativity. It's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Blas Gallego. Hopefully I'm saying that right. As always, comments down below. He is such a versatile artist. Let's take a look at some of his work. I really like his style. He's got kind of a feeling of Frazetta, but he also does comic work, and he's got just so many different styles that he pulls from. That's really great. Again, a lot of the stuff that I'm personally drawn to is more of the Conan work because I just love that aesthetic, where you have to have a focus on really great anatomy mixed with like these imaginary world creatures and everything. So I'm always drawn to that. Let's see. This one I thought was really good too. Just a really interesting view of perspective and everything too, and also great use of framing, using all the different angles here to focus the eye towards the middle of the picture. Really interesting choices there. Really cool sea beast. And I'm always I think something that I personally struggle with, so I'm drawn towards more lately, is texture in drawing without using color or anything. I know, of course, there's color in here, but I always like looking at the in-depth view of the line work throughout to try and see how they got more of the interesting texture. And he definitely does a lovely job of that and keeping everything in perspective as well too. There's one that I want to show too. I thought this one, just because it's something a little bit different, he did illustrations for Bible work as well, or more religious work mixed in there, which I thought was an interesting thing, because he also does kind of some more NSFW stuff on the other side. So I thought it was really interesting. He's got a very eclectic view of what kind of medium and what different themes he approaches in his work, which I think is really an interesting choice throughout his body of work. He definitely went into some different extremes for sure. I like this piece too. It felt very like that Frazetta swamp style, but then with these cool sci-fi, almost kind of Millennium Falcon, I guess, kind of style. Kind of interesting. Really like that piece too. So let's go ahead and take a look. I was able to find this quote from an interview that he did, and he said, "Enjoy it. It's free. You can do whatever you want." And I think a lot of times when you're first learning or when you're trying to grow or any of that kind of stuff, you forget about the aspect of enjoyment and freedom. And I think the do whatever you want aspect of this quote is a little bit sometimes daunting, because when there's endless options, it makes it hard to pick one. So I think that can be both a struggle and a freeing thing as well. But let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Eyeball Spider rig. It's a free rig from the Dota 2 collection that is over in the Steam community that I'll throw a link to in the description below if you guys want to play around with this. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own content using your own imagination, your own creativity each and every day to take another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. So let's go ahead and get animating. So it's been kind of a longer day, so I think I'm going to do a walk cycle for today, but how we'll vary it up a little bit today is make it really quick. So I think we'll do it on 6s. So it'll really be like on 3s, so it'll be pretty quick here. And there's not a lot of controllers with this rig as well, so we're going to have to play up with our other things since we don't have a lot of controllers to really mix with. And let's see. Push that a little bit more, squint that down. Let's just start there. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our frame range from 0 to 48. Go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all the stuff we've talked about so far, check out the links in the description below. Let's check out and make sure we just have our nerd curves, nerd surfaces, and polygons selected. Grab everything, go to frame 0, and we'll set our first key. Now for this one, let's go ahead and we'll get these two, and we'll go 6 frames here. So this is going to be, like I said, pretty fast on this one. And we'll flick between those two here. So we're going to get a lot of steps in here, more than we usually do. We sped everything up. Usually try to do, think about every 4 frames is usually my quickest, so this one's going to be pretty quick. And let's look at the other side. Lock those ones in. We'll go to 6. Go back here just so we can kind of match up what we're looking at there. Bring that back to 6. Lock that in, and then we'll flick between those ones. So this is going to be pretty quick, little guy. So just going to skitter across there. Almost even put that at 5s. Should we push it even faster? Let's see what it looks like. Let's grab everything, go to our window, animation editors, graph editor here, and let's push that even 1 frame quicker. It's going to mean we're going to have to punch in a little more information and push it back to probably 50 frames, maybe 55, depends on how the loop looks. And yeah, it's going to be 50 frames. Then we'll go here and bring it back. And we'll bring it back. Okay, so this is going to be pretty fast then. Save our file, and let's get our passing positions locked in. But before we do that, let's go back and just hit S on our keyboard, so we're making sure we're locking and keying all attributes on those frames that we already have set up. And let's go layout 7, we'll go ahead and lift that up. And then 17, 27, 37, other side. And again, we're just going to go back in and key everything. Just hit S on our keyboard so make sure that we're keying all our attributes here. And then we'll go with this one at 2. And then at 12, 22, 32, 42. And go back. And let's see it now. Let's grab everything and we'll try and balance out our translate Y's a little bit better. So we don't have any that are too high or too low, but everything's kind of in the middle. So you can see some of these outliers are a little bit too high. So what we're really going to aim here for is something kind of right across the middle there. Just realize you guys can't see what I'm touching on my screen, of course. There you go. So yeah, I'll go for somewhere in the middle ground. If you have some that are a little bit higher and a little bit lower, chances are probably aiming somewhere in the middle. So let's see how that feels. See if that feels more balanced there. And I think I want to make the back steps a little bit higher than the front ones. So I'll grab both of those and pull them up a little bit higher. And we'll grab the front ones and pull those up down just a little bit lower, just so we have some variety in height between the front and the back steps. And then let's take these front two, and we'll take the translate Y's and we'll push it, actually, let's go with the back ones, and we'll delay them 1 frame. So that'll be at 3, where the other one will come in at 2 for the height there. Just add some more variety to those steps. Okay, and let's look at the head itself. because it's so quick, I know that I'm not going to want a ton of that up and down on the middle section, but we still want some. So let's scale it back a little bit more. And this doesn't have to be super even, but a little bit more so we don't have any big outliers that are really big pops. But I'm fine with a bit of variety here. So let's see that now. I feel like universally I want to push it down a little bit more. Feels a little better. Alright. Then let's go at 2 and we'll push it over that front planted leg. That's 7, and we'll push it over that one. 12, 17, 22, 27, 32, 37, 42, 47, and then back. Okay. And we don't need a lot of that, but I want a little bit in there, so let's really scale it up. Or scale it down, I guess. And let's make sure we delete that one. It's the remainder from when we originally were ending at 48 before we added a couple extra frames and switched our timing. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Alright, feels okay. And then just to add a little bit of variety, let's add our little bit of rotation forward there, and forward here, there. It's just to favor whatever foot's more forward. And then back to where we started. Now let's balance that up so we're not favoring one side over the other. Doesn't have to be exact. Let's see. Now let's go at 3, and we'll add a little bit of rotate to Z here. Just making sure that the foot's planted. It feels a little off there. Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of rotate Z here, and then that's going to be 13 to the other side, and then what, 10 frames from there would be 23, 3, 13, 23, 33, just too slow, 43, back to 0. Yeah, I think I'm going, should be 3, again at 8, and 13, yeah, because it should be every 5, 18, 23, 28, 33, 38, 43, 48, and then back to 0. Alright, we're going to have a lot of cleanup there to do, so let's check back here. Make sure I delete that one. And we'll need a little bit of this. Probably even less than that. But hopefully it'll loosen up the head a little bit more. And let's see how we're doing here. Alright, that feels pretty good. And then let's do a little bit of rotate that will start here. Down at 1, and 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31, translation a little bit. And I might need to invert it. We'll see. Let's go look at that now. And maybe we could exaggerate it a little bit more. Let's see. That's pretty good. Now let's look at these guys here. What did I do to translate Y's on? Those are on 5s, right? 3. Am I doing my rotate X's then too slow? I think I am. Okay. So I want that 1 per up and down. So that would mean 1. We double that easily. It's okay right now though. Yeah, let's look at the jaw. We'll go down here. What did I do this one on again? 1, 3, 5. Okay. So we'll go 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, 22, 25, 27, 30, 32, 35, 37, 40, 42, 45, 47. Back up to 50. Let's see. Alright, we gotta clean that up. That feels a little better. And then I think we'll probably delay it a frame. We'll see. Definitely don't need it so busy. Alright. Let's take another look at it now. Maybe we'll exaggerate this a little bit more, turn them down and up. Let's see. And then I think universally we'll just mash it up a little bit higher. Okay. I do need to go back and fix the rotate X. I really feel like the easiest way to do that is going to be, let's go 2, and 5, and 7, and 10. We're really going to have to tone down the amount we do now that it's twice as fast here. 2, 15, 17. We'll probably delay this frame. 20, 22, reason this rotate X is just going to give me problems here. Always make sure you're using the right red attribute. Not the wrong one. And bring that over. Put that over. Could leave it how it is. It's not that big of a deal, but it's not really doing what I want it to do. So let's tweak it. 22, 25, 27, 30, 32, 35, 37, 40, 42, 45, 47, and 50. Okay. And balance all those out a little bit more. Again, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to chop this at least in half. It's going to be too much movement as it stands. At least that would be my guess. Let's see. And then we want to make sure we cycle back into it. So let's see. Actually, it doesn't feel too bad. But this feels like it needs to be delayed almost. At least one more frame, if not two. Let's see. Yeah, we need a key one here. And maybe we'll tone that down a bit more. Let's see. And let's do a little bit of rotate here. Out, up, out, up, up. This is going to be way too busy, so I'll scale it back, but we're just punching it in for now. Make sure we end up at the same place. Let's see. Yeah, too busy. I mean, it's not kind of like that it's busy, but I think that's a little too much still. So I'll probably do about 60% of what we have right now. And make sure we get rid of that frame. Keep balancing this guy out. Come on. You can tell I'm a little bit tired today. Maybe a little less chattery. Scale it back just a little bit more. Maybe like 15% less. Maybe a little bit more, and we'll just tone down the translate. See if we like that better. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, now let's these guys. Okay, let's go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and down, and up. Add a little more bounce here. Like that one. Up and down and back again. So let's see that. Then I want it to hit a frame later. And probably cut it about half what we have right now. Add over, balance these guys out a little bit more. Rotate up, down, up, down, up. And this is probably too much. Down, up, down, up. Just trying to loosen what we can with the controllers we have. Down, bring that back up, and cycle back into where we were. Okay. And let's see how we're doing. Again, we don't need hardly any of this. It's just going to help us loosen up those sides a little bit more. Balance it out a little bit better so we don't have any crazy outliers here. Okay, let's see how it looks. Alright. Maybe still a little too much. I want it to feel loose, but I don't want it to seem like it's jittery. So let's scale it back a little bit more. Yeah, we'll do that with the translate Ys as well. Let's see. That feels better. And let's add a blink in here on the eye, so I'll set that there. Rotate it. I'll just do each one. Let's hold this original position for a couple of frames longer. And we'll go a little bit higher, overshoot it. And then close it down. Let's see. just a little bit more. Let's see. And then I think we need that blink to go down a little bit more. It's actually closed. Keep it there. And we'll open it again. And close it again. Key that, actually push it a little bit further down. And get back there. Okay, so let's see how that feels. Okay, feels a little too over the top, so I don't think we need to open them up quite as much. So let's see how that feels. We'll hold this one a little bit more. Make the second one not as over the top and a little bit quicker. And delay everything a couple of frames. Set that over to there. It's a little tighter at the beginning. Hold that blink a little bit longer. Still feel like it opens too much. Man, let's look at just the bottom right now. Feels like it pushes up too much. And this opens too high. So we'll cut those down a whole lot. Let's see. Yeah, I think we take too long going into that first blink, so we'll cut a frame out there. Cut a frame out there. Maybe we'll open it up a little bit more overall. So let's take it and lift it up a little bit more. Lift it up a little bit more. Let's see. And that means we're going to need to close down. A little bit more on each one of those. Maybe a little bit more on the bottom lid here. Let's see. Takes too many frames to close, so let's cut a frame out there. rigs we can't really add any rotation to or anything. So let's see. Maybe we can do a little bit of sway here. So I can rotate it a little bit that way, and that way, that way, that way, that way, and then back again. Let's see if we like that or not. Too slow. 13, 18, 23, 28, 33, 38. For some reason I did it every other one instead of every time it would tilt. 43, 48. Should be right. Okay, no, cut it in about half, and I think we'll delay it one more frame. So let's see. Let's cut it a little bit more. Seems still a little too busy. Just so we have a little bit of tilt in there. That works. Alright, I think that'll do it for today. Probably getting close to our hour or so. So let's grab everything on this last frame, all of our final keys there, and we'll push it off one frame so we still have a little bit of variation for everything where we end to back where we begin, so we'll cycle a little bit better. Let's turn our curves off. Let's go and look at this now. Yeah, it's workable. We can definitely spend another hour or so cleaning it up and pushing it further. But let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Blas Gallego, and he said, enjoy it. It's free. You can do whatever you want. Enjoy your journey. Take another step today. I love you guys. Oh, I'm tired, you can tell. I love you guys lots and lots. You're amazing. You can do it. Take another step in your journey each and every day. And thanks for all the likes and subscribes. And I think that'll wrap it up for today since I can't talk very well for some reason. So we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.